Hey Watchdogs, this is Dave Kadoff, and here's a quick video that was requested by some people in the group on how to search TESS for recently filed trademarks. And for those of you who don't know what TESS is the Trademark Search System, actually the Trademark Electronic Search System that the USPTO provides, where you can search for live trademarks, dead trademarks, basically anything that's in their database. It's a very powerful system, but they don't really have a canned report available where you can just press one button and get yourself a list of everything, let's say, that was filed after a certain date and in a certain class. You sort of have to know what the search codes are. And I'm going to show you. It's really not as hard as you think. So we're here at the USPTO homepage, and what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the word trademark, and we'll click on, we'll just hover over that, and when you do that, you'll see a menu open up. And what we want to do is look to go to where it says under the application process, searching trademarks. And that's going to bring us to this page. And from this page, we can actually get into TESS, the search system. How do you do that? Pretty simple. You just scroll a little bit down, depends on how big your browser window is. But you want to come here to this button that says Search Trademark Database. Let's click on that. And here we are at the TESS, Trademark Electronic Search System. You see that? One of their four-letter acronyms that it's handy to remember. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go look at a basic word mark search, because most of the trouble that we're seeing, most of the people that are causing trouble are basically they're not doing design marks. They're doing word marks like the word deplorable or deplorables, and then they're taking everybody down because they got a trademark for that. So we want to, this is typically where we go to find and search for live trademarks. And by the way, live, again, for those of you who don't know, does not mean registered. It is absolutely not the same thing. Live simply means it's in process. And basically, if you're smart enough to fill out a form online and pay about $275, your application, and click a submit button, your application will be live. And it just means it's starting to go through the process. Doesn't mean it's registered yet. Doesn't mean it will ever be registered. It's just simply a live application. It hasn't been refused yet or abandoned or any such thing. So this is a page many of you are probably familiar with, where you go in and you put a search term into this field and you look for your keyword phrase. But what we're looking for is something a little bit different. We're not actually looking for a keyword phrase in particular at all. We're looking for applications that were filed on a certain day and looking for applications that are also in a certain international class. And for most of us, the international class we're most interested in is 025, which is for apparel, and also 009, even though that's called cell phone accessories. That is where pop sockets fall into. So if you've got pop sockets, you probably want to search 009 also. But as I said earlier in the video, there's no canned report out there where you can click a button and do this. You have to kind of know what some of the codes are. And I'm going to show you, because there's really only two codes you really need, and they're not all that hard. So here's how you do it. You go to this thing, see this button? It says Freeform. Just click on that. And lo and behold, you come to a freeform page where you can do a search term in here. But the search term needs to consist of these field codes, because that's what you're searching for. So you can do things like search for an owner name. If there's a particular owner that has applied for a trademark and you want to see if they have others, you can use that field. There's all sorts of other fields. But what we're looking for is actually what I already have there. I want FD and IC. FD stands for filing date. I'm just going to click on that and give you an idea of what that looks like. So here you go. The filing date code just works like this. You put in a date with FD behind it, and that will show you all the things that were applied for on that given date. You can use wildcards, But what I'm pretty much doing is I'm doing this. I'm looking for things that were the filing date is greater than after, basically, a certain date. Now you see there's a little doohickey right here, that apostrophe. Don't forget, if you're filling this out, to have that doohickey. If you don't have it in front of the FT when you're doing this particular operation, it'll give you an error. So up here, go back to the top. Oh, sorry, go back to the page we're on. You'll see we've got FD, which means filing date, and I also have IC. And IC is an international class. And there's lots of international classes. If you want to see what they look like, you can see this is where they are. So a lot of folks that are, we're trying to fight against, people that are filing frivolous trademarks, are doing things basically, for a lot of us, are in 025 clothing. They're also doing 009. I know it says electronic and scientific apparatus, but pop sockets falls into that. We've got some people that are trying to corner the market via 035, which is for e-commerce sites. But if you look at others, there's a lot of people in the group that are coming from other types of makers. We've got folks that are do jewelry, folks that do paper goods and printed matter, and you can see they have different codes. But for this, so if you are in one of those groups and you wanted to check on a particular, if you wanted to see the new trademarks that were filed for that particular international class, you would just substitute right here, 025. You'd put in 009 or 014 or 035. Hope that's clear. But essentially what we're doing here is, if you look, there's that filing date is greater than or after a certain day. So here I've got the date format that you got to use is year, month, day. So I'm saying, let's look, show me every new trademark application that was filed after July 15th, and that's, see how there's a word "and" there, that's a logical and. It means both conditions have to be true. So it's filed after July 15th, 2018, and it's in class 025. And then all you do is submit the query. Boom, there you go. You got 2,600 records that showed up. And you can see there's about 100 per page. And you can go through and see, is there something in there that you would want to, is going to infringe on the business that you have. I am not recommending that you file a letter of protest on every single one of these. Many of these are excellent brands. They're very specific, they're very unique, they're very distinctive. They're perfectly, they're the kinds of they're what trademarks are for. But if sometimes you might find something that, oh yeah, like, oh yes, she does. I don't know, is that a phrase or is that a trademark? So we can go look at that, and you can see that, look at that. They're looking to, they filed it for all these classes, 16, 20, 24, 25, and 35. Yeah, this might be one that somebody might want to trademark, but here you go. This is a brand new application. We can go into this right here, TSDR, see some more information, and we can see they didn't even file a specimen, so we don't even know what they're going to do. But this is one that I would be looking at and saying, maybe they're trying to corner the market on a phrase and not really trying to build a brand around something like this. So that's it. That's how you get this giant list. You can, if you wanted to see all the new trademarks for under 009, you could do the same thing. Look at that. There's like 3,000 applications out there for that were filed after July 17th and today. And by the way, today's August. It's August 6th. So in about 3 weeks' time, there's about 3,000 applications that came through just on that class of 009. So it's very active. People are really filing a lot of trademarks. It's a lot to It's a lot to watch out for. So that, folks, is it. Just again, the big trick here is when you're using filing date, make sure that apostrophe is right there. That it's really it's not really apostrophe. It's like a backwards apostrophe. It's another kind of accent. Usually, you'll find that symbol on the upper left key on your keyboard. It's usually below the tilde. And just to show you, I can change also the date itself. Let's go to the 22nd. I'm just picking that out. So we'll say, look at that. So now we're seeing things that were filed after the July 22nd for 009. We can go after the 22nd for 014. 253. So here you go. So if you're, whatever category your business is in, you can go search under that international class and for a date after that, and you will see all the new applications just by using the freeform button and filling out the freeform button with both the filing date and the international class that you're interested in. I hope that was clear. I hope that helps. When I post this in the group, leave comments underneath and I'll be happy to answer them. And if I have to record another thing to make it clearer, I certainly will. So good luck with this. I hope this